up while we wait.
Man,
Like if you
there's
do multiple
flyboys.
flights like back to back in the sim, it would actually then also give you an overlay in game saying like apron work is currently happening and like passengers are unloaded and cargo is unloaded and stuff like that.
Snack Air making a move soon. No, it doesn't. It's very impressive, Will Rising, but it's not. It's I can't even start a VA right now. I have to get up to and Endeavor's working on it right now to get the VA going, but he has to get up 100,000? Did you say?
100,000, yeah.
And um, again, there's a lot of elements that aren't quite there to move Snack Air.
But there are
I envision Snack Air will if all goes
coexist.
well, it'll coexist. Yeah.
Yeah. But OnAir, they're putting a lot of work into it and they're expanding and are doing a good job for now.
Hey, if they're listening to the community and we have an updated database, and if John Fly says, "Hey, I have a kind suggestion that we do this," and they listen, and others agree
Yeah.
with it, and they can't do what everyone wants, but yeah.
Yeah. So on this screen, you would usually see how your fuel is getting refilled and cargo is being loaded.
Yeah.
Like all of those things will actually take some time. It's not instantaneous, which I also like. Add some realism to it. Um,
AMC's here in KC let you bring in your own snacks. Well, they're smart. We're trying to hire Captain Soul. He's still in contract negotiations. I believe that said a minimum of 1 hour, not maximum, meaning they're going to charge you 1 hour. Oh, you may have been right. Endeavor, I
yeah,
think I was wrong.
you can fly longer than
So it was 1 hour minimum.
like I had a TBM over like 4 days.
Okay. Artie says OnAir is a deadly enemy to FSE. Don't do it, John. What do you mean? How are they an enemy? The coexisting is the issue. Why is that an issue? Lots of 172 flights. Yeah. Does it load the actual weight and fuel in the plane? Endeavor.
Yes,
It does.
yes.
Okay.
It also changes your time, the day of like time of day in the sim.
Right Girl
Like
brought me
that's
a.
what I said, like the UTC offset, right? So I had that a couple of times where like I loaded the sim and like it's dark for me, and then all of a sudden like the sim changes to daylight. And we will see that once we start the tracking, like it checks like location if you're in slew mode. It also accounts for time acceleration. Like if we would do the sim rate increase like we did yesterday when you were flying, it will recognize that, and then when you touch down, it will say like, "Hey, you used time warp, and your plane will now, be delayed," and like it will show in OnAir that you're still flying.
But do you get
And
paid?
you will get paid once it's over. But like if it's the last flight of the night or whatever, and you don't want to wait, you can like do sim rate increase. But OnAir will respect real time, so you can't really cheat and get ahead of the real time.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, but you would set up your flight here.
Do I need to do anything besides choosing
Nope, just choose the
aircraft and the to from?
to from, and that's it.
Okay.
You can fly with all players. That all is fine,
Okay.
and again, time will be set from OnAir. So if we go back to OnAir while this loads up.
Okay.
On the lower left, where it says to, select intended destination. You type in your KPVU. It will also then automatically add an alternate for you.
KPVU. Okay. You'd think it would just know this is the flight that I'm taking.
Yeah, it's annoying to always add that to it. But again, if you have like multiple trips and multiple stuff, it makes sense. And then go to the flight tracking page.
Go to flight tracking.
You could also then have your crew and co-pilot and whatnot here, but that's not relevant for the time being for now.
Excuse me while I have just a little bit of lunch that Right Girl brought me.
Is that an English muffin?
It's a roll with ham and cheese and mayo.
Nice. I have some BLTs coming my way.
Okay, it says we don't support any add-on that changes the time during the flight tracking. Do you want this warning to be displayed again next time you start a flight tracking?
No, we can say no.
What is
Again,
that?
that's like that goes down to like, if you accelerate in-game time, they will not like they don't support that. They will stay with the real time. But it's up to you if you want to see that warning all the time or not.
Making you hungry? Uh-oh.
Right.
Captain Evelian says, will it change the reg number in the sim like FSE does?
Not sure. We'll find out.
Okay.
So we are on the tracking page now. You see your flight plan at the top, and then you see your tracking conditions. So it will set automatically your date, your fuel, and your payload. I don't see anything for the registration, but we can check that once we are loaded up in the sim.
Okay.
It also checks for slew mode, your position, you're at the airport, that is the right aircraft, and so on and so forth. One nice feature is if it's crashing or if you are somewhere else, you can use this button, position aircraft in simulator, and then it'll basically then automatically use slew mode to move your aircraft to the altitude and coordinates where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
And then just go out of slew mode and continue. And then you see your cargo and your crew, and then you just hit start tracking. And then we switch over to the sim.
Is that when my rental starts though?
No, I think it's only when you are actually in the air, like once it took off. It will start automatically tracking once you start taxiing, but you get a bonus if you actually started tracking before engine on.
Oh.
Like there are certain like quirks to it, like again, like stalling is a penalty, overspeed is a penalty.
They don't want you to
over
do like we
45
do
degrees.
and taxi to the runway and then start your FS economy flight.
Yeah. Also turn on beacon light before your engine start also gets bonuses and stuff like that.
What if you do
it's not,
Control E?
I don't think Control E actually turns the lights on. It just starts the engine.
I think it might turn on some lights, but
All right, but that tracking is going, and now we basically can switch over. And one thing that you might want to consider for streaming later on is you can basically put, since you have a Go XLR as well, you can put the output of OnAir into like a separate channel, similar to like what you do with your ForeFlight, so that people can hear the instructions.
It's not going to be talking to me right now, though. That's only during check rides, right?
It will tell, like, once you are airborne, it will say airborne time logged.
All right, so we should be able to hear that on stream because it's just probably defaulted to the system audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Mark 0862, BD Short, Nixer, Bawana, and Twiggy Frog with the follows. Thank you, guys, gals.
All right, but
I'm not on Thunder. No, I'm on the Cumulus, right?
Cumulus. Yeah, Cumulus. We start with Cumulus. Thunder is for later. Like Thunder again is like more like the real or closer to FSE realism world.
Hobbs timing on rental? That's a good question. I'm assuming that plane goes up in hours and there. Yeah, is there maintenance and stuff?
Yes, they have flight conditions that's degrading. At the end, you see your flight report and tells you how much, depending on like how you're flying the aircraft, like
your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
My flight will be monitored until I land and shut down the engines. Okay, let's see if Control E actually turned on some. Uh-oh, my parking brake is wigging out. That's funny. So I would have got a bonus had my beacon light been on.
Yeah, it's only like a experience bonus, so it's not like a financial bonus or something like that.
Okay.
If you do like violations like the stalling, overspeed banking, that gives significant reputational hits. And reputation is for right now is only important for bank loans. So if you want to get a bank loan and you have a bad reputation, you get worse deals.
That's kind of funny. I like that. All right, we're gonna be going at 6,500 or so. Transponder, we can change that to squawking altitude.
I did actually a test and let like the in-game AI pilot fly, but for some reason it kept stalling, so it ruined all my reputation.
Oh. So, and when I go airborne is when this thing starts the rental. Then I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
It will lock the airborne time, and then the rental ticks.
Okay.
And then you can also see your live movement in OnAir on the map where you're flying right now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I also have like a multiplayer map in OnAir, so you can see all the other players that are currently online in OnAir and flying.
By the way, if anyone wants to fly with me, I'm at Kilo Hotel Charlie Romeo, and I'm going to Kilo Papa Victor uniform.
On USA West.
Yeah, on USA West on MSFS. I wish it would be just MFS. Haven't heard anything about the Falcon, Jonesy. That'll make me get back into X-Plane. I need to go fly that 747 in X-Plane again. I kind of dig that plane. It's just hard to get out of this sim. Alright, I'm going to program my ForeFlight to populate this flight route. These magazines are heavy. As far as when I land, what triggers the logging of the flight? Is it when I park and shut off, or?
Engine off.
Okay.
And it doesn't like it won't come like you can basically do engine off on the runway.
Okay.
Like it won't check as of now, at least if you are actually like at a gate or off the runway. Like if you want to save some time, like touchdown, engine off.
Okay.
And again, the order here is then again important that the beacon is the last light that, or is still on basically when you turn off the engine, but all other lights have to be off.
Just the beacons.
Just the beacon
Is on.
Which is a bit of an issue in the TBM because the TBM doesn't have a dedicated beacon switch.
That's true.
But again, those penalties are minimal. Don't go.
Approaching runway 22.
Okay, so I'm going to hold short. Do I get a penalty for taking off without landing lights on?
Yes.
So,
Landing lights should be on when taking off.
Because during the day, you don't sometimes turn on your landing lights in the real world. But nav and strobe, taxi off. I don't need any pitot heat.
Yeah, and I can actually see your location on the multiplayer map in OnAir right now as well.
Oh, can you? Where? Oh, in the client, you're seeing me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
see that
cool.
you're in a Cessna Skyhawk G1000 with your tail number, and that you're flying in simulator.
Does it give my name?
It has John Fly, active, flight in progress, company snack.
Approaching runway 22.
Cool. I'm going to kill whoever took SNAK.
Runway 22. 6,800 feet remaining.
Yeah, it didn't change the tail number, it looks like. I'm going to change my heading. Someone's upset upstairs.
This is on Cumulus. We are not on Thunder yet. We will move onto Thunder.
Oh wait, I
later.
can hit the heading sync. Yeah, there we go. Yo, John Fly, acknowledge the follower. Do I get dinged if I just sit here lined up and waiting for a bit? Probably not. Because I'm gonna set my parking brake. I just need to do a quick welfare check on person.
It's not penalizing you for having full ridge at 5,600. No. At the after the flight in the landing report, you can see like it will tell you what went wrong if you didn't get a bonus and stuff like that. I also have a document that was shared in their forums, I think, with all the bonuses and penalties that they have. But they said it's going to be work in progress and they will change.
I'll be
over
right back,
time.
okay? Endeavor, I'll be right back.
Yep.
Feel
no
free
worries.
to entertain these folks. I'll be right back.
I will see what questions they have. Steve Ellis says, no, it doesn't. Yeah. So the registration number, as we found out, is not being changed. But that might be a good feedback to pass on to them. Because I think it's possible through SimConnect to actually do that, since other clients are doing it as well, like FSE. I like karaoke, I do. But I think no one wants to listen to that. No, not gonna happen. Me too. What other questions do we have in chat? We talked about the minimum 1 hour. I've been on airing pretty much since Flight Simulator release. It has been around way longer than that. I think I saw some YouTube videos from like over a year ago. But I really like the concept of like, FSE and like other career modes. So I just started to go get into it with OnAir as Microsoft Flight Simulator was released. I played in Cumulus and now moved over to Thunder because we want to start the VA. And if anyone is on OnAir and in Thunder, feel free to add my company as a partner.
Tiger something or other.
No, in Thunder it's NDEA.
Oh, like the Drug Enforcement Agency?
Yeah, but more like
Endeavor.
Endeavor, like the first 4 letters.
All right, I'm going to take off. Here we go. Don't stall, right?
Yeah, try not to stall. Like don't get too high again and ice your wings.
And roast s'mores?
And roast s'mores.
And I've got a mapping on my brakes, I think. I got a problem with my brakes mapping. There we go.
Like if you stall, it gives you minus 0.5% reputation.
Ooh, that's not good.
Same for banking. Or if you even do like a pitch of more than 45
The
degrees.
banks aren't going to know if I'm out flying and I stall. I'm sorry. There's some sort of, like those car insurance companies that track your driving.
Yeah.
There's some sort of device on these, I guess, that reports all of your activity. I'm doing a no flaps takeoff. Do I get penalized for that?
No.
Whoa, my screen
actually,
just went
yes,
black.
you do.
Oh, crap.
Airborne time logged.
Airborne without flaps. Oh,
Yep.
Right after I asked it.
Yeah, I just said it quickly.
The thing about it is that's not accurate because you don't have to have flaps in a small plane to take
Right.
off. So that's a little.
But again, those penalties are not reputation penalties. These are just for your experience. For the skill tree. But yeah, from now on, it's basically just like a normal flight. 21 miles.
Isn't this beautiful out here? Oh, what a gorgeous part of the world.
First solo.
Yeah, and look at this lake up here. So the Swiss that come to Utah, they come to this area because they feel like anywhere outside of Europe, this is the closest representation of Switzerland, believe it or not. And so they have they have an entire village that's all Swiss themed over there here in Utah. They get a very Switzerland-like type feel.
Do they also have restaurants with like cheese fondue?
They have fondue. They have Spätzle. Is it Spätzle?
Spätzle.
Spätzle. Yeah, and they got Hefeweizen and it's a Swiss chocolate. All right, I'm gonna sync up my heading bug. I'm gonna hit my altitude button.
Yeah, with the landing light tracking, they're very, very picky. Like I have a screenshot where I turned off on the landing lights at like 5 feet below 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I still got a penalty for not having my landing lights on below
wow.
10,000. Like they could have some more like leeway there before they.
It's kind of like PowerSet Virtual, man. I keep getting dinged on PowerSet Virtual for like if I don't have my landing lights off exactly at 10,000 or something.
So you're better off like switching them on like 100 feet above 10,000.
Yeah. Look at this beautiful part of the world. They do hang gliding around here too. A lot of sailplane activity. The thermals. The Olympics were held right over here. Some of the venues, like the cross country skiing and the what's that one where they cross country ski and shoot? What do they call that? And a lot of the, and then of course just over there in Park City down the road is where they had the jumps and the freestyle and all that good stuff. Biathlon, yeah. There is a 2K leeway on air for lights, huh? Okay. Raldori is
not what I experienced.
Raldori has requested a partnership with you. His company name is Narn there.
Loading up in Thunder right now.
I think it'd be a bit dry compared to Switzerland. Yeah, probably. The Swiss come to America to visit the most Swiss area they can find. They do enjoy it. I mean, it's the same as like, when I go to Berlin, I want to go to McDonald's at least once. No, I don't. They do have beer at McDonald's in Germany, though. Did you guys know that? Gamer dude, how you doing? If you type in exclamation specs, yeah. Exclamation specs.
I just posted the screenshot in chat of like this landing lights off below 10,000 when I was at 9,986, 14 feet.
Oh, wow. Aqua says there's one of those in North Georgia. There's polka music playing from the speakers outside. Yeah.
A partnership is basically like a friend list, and you can communicate with each other by sending mail or chat or exchange credits. Like you can basically do like personal loans to people.
I think I just saw like an ATV driving on like a dirt trail back there. That was really weird. They were in the forest off of the main highway, and they were driving up this hill on the dirt. Or I'm seeing things. Helen, Georgia has a huge German community. Yeah. There's little pockets here and there, right? Asia, McDonald's has some crazy good stuff. I wouldn't have thought that. I'm supposed to be concentrating on flying. That's true. So I do feel a little dirty not flying for Snack Air at the moment, but I am flying for a different Snack Air. It feels kind of dirty, but I am kind of digging this. It's kind of it's a little piece of newness.
I mean, what you can try, but I guess that's a lot of manual work to find a job that exists in FSE and in OnAir and then fly both at the same time.
That might be hard, huh?
Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to develop a mod that ties the two together, and then there'll be a search engine that can search both databases and match it up, and then it also serves you a cold beer at every 15 minutes.
Well, Coltrane just said, like, OnAir and VATSIM, like that is a good combination. I haven't done it yet myself.
Like I say, I want there to be more of a market. I'm still learning, but I'm glad to hear that there's an airplane market. I do want to find out what the maximum number of FBOs can be at a particular airport.
I can keep looking at the documentation.
And then the
But
other,
their CEO's operational manual is a little bit outdated because it doesn't have anything about the VAs in there yet. But you have some global market, like you can, have your aircrafts. I don't know about like, buying and selling FBOs to other players.
yeah, I want that. I want to be able to buy
but
fuel from other players. I want to be able to buy aircraft.
You can buy fuel. You can buy fuel. That's for sure. Like you can decide.
So the FBO owners get the fuel revenue, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Like
do they also have to buy? Do they also have to purchase supplies?
You have to purchase fuel. You supplies in terms of repairs
or no fuel. Like by
you have to restock
as an FBO
your fuel,
owner,
like
you have to restock your 100 low lead. And
okay. Yep. You have to do that. Like if you're empty, then you have to refuel. What you can also do with FBOs is you can define queries for jobs, and then you will basically get FBO exclusive jobs, like once a day or once a week or something like that.
Okay.
Based on your requirements that you put in. Like if you want to specialize on like business trips or whatever, then you can put that in, and then you keep getting those jobs in your FBO.
Okay.
But also, I think your virtual airline.
Golf course.
And you can also like have your FBO just for your own network and say like, we have fuel at this FBO, but we won't sell it to other players. So it's just for your own network, or you can decide to give it to others. And you have normal fuel and you have jet fuel, which came to bite me quite a few times when I landed at an airport with a turboprop, which takes jet fuel, and the FBO did not provide jet fuel. So I was stranded there. But in those situations, you can actually take a second plane, buy fuel canisters, fly somewhere to fill those canisters, and then bring the canisters to your stranded airplane.
Oh, wow.
And fill it up yourself.
Puff MTD got the golf course emote. And I will try to fulfill that golf course emote action with snacks when I land. I might forget, though. So just spam the golf course emote again after I land.
Oh, is that Alice tuned in? There can only be one FBO per company at any airport, but there is no limit to how many companies can have FBOs at any particular airport.
Is it going to ding me for no flaps on landing?
Yes. So basically, you can have, I think, unlimited.
Because there's certain wind conditions where you're not going to have flaps. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you have this X amount of wind component. You do not use flaps. So they maybe need to address that.
But does FSE address that?
I'm not in those wind conditions, no. FSE doesn't care about flaps.
Yeah.
So there's a point of caring about it and then caring about it too much. Like, for example, if I'm at Salt Lake City, yeah, if I don't have flaps 5 set and I take off, I should get dinged. But if I'm in a Cessna on a long runway and I don't want to use flaps, I should not get dinged. But then again, that's nitpicky, right?
Yeah, it becomes very nuanced. I'm just happy that they, try to
get people to fly
hold you accountable to like some realism and like, protocols.
Yeah. Wind 270 at 3 knots.
But like having like,
final runway
being able to distinguishing between like, a small GA aircraft where you might not have to use flaps, whereas like an airliner.
Yeah.
Whereas like more company protocol to do certain things.
Yeah. Autopilot off.
Again, that might come. It's
sounds like they're open to suggestion, and they'll take in suggestion. They won't enact every suggestion, but at least they'll listen. It sounds like, so that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
like one thing I said with like the registration tail number and stuff like that. Like this is an easy thing to do. Like SimConnect allows to do that, and they should, auto sync that as well.
It's a nice little feature that I don't have in X-Plane, but I found that it's in the new sim. That's kind of fun. But at the same time, FSE doesn't enforce proper tail numbers. I hate that. I wish that they would enforce proper tail numbers, because they just allow you to put in November-744512 alpha or whatever. It's like, ugh.
Does it show your current location on the map in the app? It shows it in the desktop program, not on the mobile app. That I think the mobile apps are very limited.
Oh man, an
but they're
airliner's
planning to expand that.
taking off.
And FBOs have a fuel tank capacity, cargo storage, yes, and you can also have like a tie down and a hangar there for your own aircrafts or for others to do repairs on your FBO.
Landing time logged. Landed at Kilo Papa Victor Uniform.
Time acceleration, we
Provo,
talked about this
Munich.
earlier in OnAir. You can do time acceleration, like the sim rate increase, but OnAir will always respect real time. So if you're warped, it will then still show your plane as flying.
I think I have to back taxi. I don't see any. Oh yeah, there's a taxi way up here, hopefully. At least there is on the map. All right, so now to not get dinged, do I turn the lights off now?
Again, I mean, up to you. Like if you want to do realism and like taxi to the gate and whatever, sure. But you can also come to a full stop now,
Once
and
I
then
exit
turn
the
all
runway.
lights
Yeah.
off except for beacon, and then turn the engine off.
So technically, I could shut off the engine on the taxiway and get paid.
Yep.
It's not going to detect that I'm not at the terminal or
Correct.
GA parking. But for
Correct.
realism, I could.
For realism, you should
go to
taxi
the-
and do your Venmo request.
Because really, the difference between ending it on the taxiway and ending it at the gate at the GA parking is literally pennies, probably.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's beautiful here, man. Look at those mountains. That's the Timpanogos. Timpanogos up there is what it's called. It's supposed to be an Indian princess laying on her back. And there's really good cave. There's a really good hike up to the top of Timpanogos there, peak. And then there's inside these deep caves. There's, what do they call it? Is it stalactites or stalagmites, where it's like hanging from the ceiling? And I can't remember which one it's called, but it's pretty cool hike that a lot of people do. Hang on tight from ceiling, mites the other one. Okay, so stalactites from the ceiling. Okay, thank you. Stalactites.
Oh, that's a good way to remember that. Hang on tight.
Approaching runway 31.
Okay, do I have to like put my lights on to cross this runway, or
Runway 31.
do I get dinged for that?
8,400 feet
No.
remaining.
OnAir only supports U.S. tel numbers? No, it's worldwide, right? Yeah, you got German call signs, I'm sure, in Germany and Japan and South American call signs.
I think so. Let me check.
I would assume. That's my assumption. Acknowledge the follower. We got another follow. We got Kenny MCYD. Welcome, Kenny. Also, Mal80 a few minutes back with the follow. Thank you, guys. Light tights come down. Okay. Let's see if I can multitask and turn off the lights. Wait, so I can turn strobes off, but leave the beacon on, right?
Okay, I can turn everything off except beacon.
And so the nav lights. Okay.
I mean, in theory, for taxiing, you should have taxi lights on still right now, but
Does it penalize me for leaving my Cheetos over on that plate and not eating them?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Just checking. All right, we'll park on the right side of this beautiful, what is that, a Piper, looks like an Aztec or something.
it looks like the aircrafts in Europe also have the November.
Really? They have the November registrations. Oh, wow. Snack, I'm
Registrations,
wrong
yeah.
then. That's a violation. They'll fix that. The French will not like that. Now you're
I'm checking
from
in Germany
Germany,
right now.
aren't you? Originally, Germany?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, so now just do is there a proper shutdown or just cut the fuel?
Just cut the fuel.
Engine off, time logged.
Okay.
End of flight, registered in OnAir company.
OnAir, link okay. No tracking in progress.
Yeah, so if you switch now back to OnAir, you see now your flight report.
Okay, your flight has been monitored. It's from KHCR to PVU.
And then on the right-hand side, you see your reputation change.
Reputation went up 0.02%. Beacon and strobe were off at engine start because of that
Control E.
Control E.
And then airborne without flaps.
Airborne without flaps, which they got to revisit that maybe. Maybe not.
But you got a comfort bonus
of 5%. Safety bonus not obtained?
Yeah, if you hover over the eye in front of that line, it will show you why
Beacon was off at engine shutdown. My beacon was on. Come in. My beacon was on. That's lame sauce. Then. I mean, the beacon is still on right now.
Yeah, I think ZL said, like, just turn off all lights or something.
Yeah, but then I thought it penalizes you for beacon off.
It should be on.
It's technically an anti-collision light, so that can be on.
Yeah, but again, those are just experience bonuses, so they don't harm your reputation or your finances. So
Cirrus only has strobes, so do diamonds. Yeah, if you switch sims between sims, it all goes to your company. If you switch sims between sims, what do you mean? If you go from, clarify that. All right, so engine condition change. I get my $1,400 bond back. Does it show the finances?
Yeah, if you click OK, then you can go to your finance logs, and then you see everything there, your income and out expense.
They should maybe have the finances on that page as a summary of that particular job, maybe. I don't know. If you fly both sims, it feeds the same company.
Yeah. You can you can do OnAir with any of the simulations. You can use X-Plane, you can use P3D, you can use Flight Simulator. They all hook up the same way to the sim, or to OnAir.
Okay, so it takes me back to the map, and if I go to my company,
but you're still have the aircraft rented as well, right? So you can keep the aircraft now if you want, and look for another job from the airport where you're at right now.
Okay, but if I wanted to release it,
you just click on the 3 dots at the bottom of that aircraft sheet, and then can end the rental.
The bottom of the aircraft sheet.
Yeah, if you go back to the live map. Sorry, again, there's a delay with the stream. Where you're on right now on the page.
Oh, I just got off of
your Cessna Skyhawk.
I just got off of it. Refresh the stream. Maybe there'll be less lag. I don't know.
Let me try. On the little card on the left, you have the three.
Oh, where okay, here, yeah. All right, I click the 3 dots.
Take it to the details of the aircraft, and then
Cheeto
you can
Flash
end the rental.
is dirty pool. A Cheeto Flash. I did Cheeto Flash.
And if you would have time accelerated, you can't end the rental until the plane is done flying. And I caught up with real time.
I have fundamental problems with time acceleration when I'm on any sort of tracking economy system. I just don't do it. I've never done it on FSE. I did it yesterday going into wherever we were going into, but I wasn't on any economy when I did that time acceleration yesterday after we had the s'mores in the mountain crash. A lot of people do time accelerate, especially when they're ferrying aircraft, but I just don't like it. I don't know. I guess I'm a part of a I would claim that I'm a naturalist or a purist, but then again, I don't start the flight on FS economy until I'm at the runway. So, or sometimes I forget, and it's when I'm airborne I start the flight. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like OnAir will automatically start tracking if you forgot once you start taxiing.
All right. So stop the rent.
Yep.
Okay. But technically, if I've paid for an hour and I've only flown for 20 minutes, and I have time, it would be worth me just to keep the plane.
Yep.
And maybe do one more flight.
The rundown here of the finances.
So it says here I paid $313.
Because you get charged now for the aircraft to be transported back to the original airport. They always bring the planes back where they came from.
Wait a second. They do?
Mm-hmm.
What?
So that not like, you have one airport where all the aircraft's piling up. They make sure that it's always fairly distributed.
You probably mentioned that earlier and I just missed it, but
yeah,
that's kind of interesting because if this plane kept flying it, further and further away,
closer back to the home airport. Yeah,
I gotta start aiming back towards it, or I'm gonna start losing money.
Yep.
Paperwork $21, wages $72. Trip back fuel $55, aircraft running 85. Does someone in the game have to take this plane back, or does the system take it back?
No, the system is doing that.
I don't know if I'm a fan of that or not.
Again, once you have your own aircraft, you can manage them same way as an FSE and like have them distributed across all your FBOs and locations.
You can keep them where you want.
Yeah.
And do you have the option of designating a system bring back, or no? That's only for non-owned aircraft.
Not sure. I think you can relocate your planes and then have like a system pilot flying it over.
Okay.
But I don't own an aircraft in Thunder yet, so I don't know how it's there.
Okay. So now I should be able to see a bank balance of a few dollars more than what I started with.
Yeah, I mean 3,000 or something like that, was it right?
Well, I started with 70,000. I got fined a few pennies, so we should at least be back to over 70,000. If I'm gonna critique anything, it's the fact that it's a little bit slow. But they gave me a heads up that it's slow, and for whatever reason, I can't get back to the dashboard right now. But
they're doing.
Oh, look at that!
Work.
So there's a second one open up that he was talking about.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a new feature as well. So
that's just the live operations map. Here's the dashboard. I got 73,004 in cash in the Stratus world, or sorry, Cumulus world. Yeah. Cool. Yep. And then I think that's good. That's a good first lesson. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really repeat from here on, and
yeah. I don't think I'm going to remember everything you told me, so maybe we should have an encore, lesson 2, where we kind of just do the very, very basics again to kind of ingrain. I think that there's a few people here that have learned some of the basics that they could learn on their own, and pretty soon, all of these people are going to be teaching us little things that they find, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And they have a tutorial, and this mission kind of guides you through it as well. And they have a Discord as well with a great community where you can get help and the people answer questions. And
I think I did join their Discord.
Yeah, or feel free on John's Discord as well to post questions there. I'm around there, and some others here as well. Happy to answer any of the questions.
It's very cool. That was a great tutorial, Zerg. I agree. Yeah. Mobiz says thank you for the lesson.
You're welcome. And again, Zed Ellis and I are working on getting enough money so we can do the VA in Thunder.
He's gonna do. You're gonna do Snack Air, right?
Yeah.
And
you thankfully said that
yeah,
do that. So
yeah, Endeavor's going to start
we'll
Snack Air
set that
VA
up
without the
as
snack
soon as we can.
without the snack code, but oh well.
Well, it's a 5-letter code in Thunder, or like 4 VAs, so maybe we can find something that works.
I will touch base with you this week, maybe if you have some time for lesson 2. Again, I apologize ahead of time that I may have you repeat some of the things that you told me today.
No worries at all.
But maybe later some weekend night this week or this coming weekend, we can time will coordinate for us both to do this again. So thank you so much.